This video covers my particular choice for concealed carry. This is the Springfield Armory XD-9 subcompact. It's a very well built gun. It has decent firepower, composite grip, which makes it lighter. Very easy to disassemble, reassemble, requires no tools. Has several safety features that I'll go over here in just a second. The clip has the standard clip has a 13 round capacity. It also comes with an extended clip if you don't live in California, where the extended clip is illegal. But the extended clip has an additional 3 rounds that also extends the grip. As the grip is, this is a subcompact, the grip is a little bit shorter than a standard length pistol. For some of the safety features on this particular gun, we start out with the grip safety here, which is a lever on the back of the grip that must be depressed to either operate the slide or to pull the trigger. The slide will only come back about 1/2 to 3/4 inch if the grip safety is not depressed. Next feature is the trigger itself is a 2-piece trigger. It has a additional lever in the very center of the trigger that must be pulled at the same time that the rest of the trigger is in order for it to be fired. So you need to have your hand on the grip, firmly on the grip, to depress the grip safety, in addition to pulling both pieces of the trigger at the same time. Now, if you read about this particular gun on Springfield Armory's website, they also talk about an additional feature that's inside the gun called the striker safety. It's basically a small metal block that comes up that holds the striker in place. The striker is, of course, the portion of the gun that drives the firing pin forward to actually fire the round. The striker safety prevents the striker from being released in the event that the gun gets dropped. So when you're carrying this particular weapon, it's much less likely to accidentally be fired than some of your other guns on the market, particularly something like a revolver. Now, the couple of the other features of this particular weapon that make it very nice, there is a small silver pin that you can see sticking out of the back of the slide right now, and if you run a finger or thumb over it, it's also raised. That indicates that the gun is cocked and ready to be fired. Another indicator on this particular gun is this small piece of metal right here behind the chamber. That is the loaded chamber indicator. If it's flush, that means that there's no bullet in the chamber. So before you even draw the weapon from the holster, or if it was, pitch black, running your thumb over the back of the slide will tell you whether or not the gun is already cocked. The loaded chamber indicator, you can run your finger across it even in pitch black to determine whether or not there's a round in the chamber. Now, to show that particular feature, I'm going to use a snap cap from Azoom. It's not a live round. It is a CNC machined aluminum bullet that meets exact specifications for the normal size of a bullet, plus it has a rubber cap in the back of it that prevents any damage to the firing pin if you're going to dry fire the gun. So we'll load this just like a standard round. Like I said, you have to have the grip safety pressed in order to operate the slide. Slide won't operate otherwise. But right now the loaded chamber indicator is now raised slightly to where it can be felt when you run your finger across the top of the slide. So you can get both a visual and a tactile, which means you can feel either the raised striker indicator or the loaded chamber indicator. Once like I said, this isn't a live round. Once the trigger is pulled, the striker status indicator drops down into the gun, so you no longer have the silver pin sticking out of the back of it there. One other feature of this particular weapon is, and some people like this, some people don't, it is a single action only weapon, which means that just simply pulling the trigger, the gun cannot be fired. It will not, the action of pulling the trigger will not also cock the gun. So you have to, in order for this gun to be fired, you actually have to operate the slide, which that's going to drop that bullet. But when you operate the slide, then the striker, you can see the striker status indicator is raised once again. You cannot just simply pull the trigger to fire this gun. It has to be cocked. So single action only trigger. Grip safety, trigger safety, internal striker safety, visual and tactile indicators to tell you whether or not the gun's loaded. Between all of these features and the easy disassembly, excellent construction, and moderate price of the gun made it my particular choice for concealed carry. Everybody's got slightly different preference, but if you've got the option at your local range to rent one of these, or if you know somebody that has one, if you're thinking about getting your concealed carry permit, I would highly suggest checking this particular gun out. You definitely will not be disappointed with this gun.